Hi, this is Straight Passer. Welcome to my review of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 19, I believe. Yep, Episode 19, A Dirty Half Dozen. And basically what this episode is about is Coulson, who you last saw him giving himself up, and he meets with Gonzalez and basically tells him, listen, I'll give you access to Fury's toolbox. You help me go along on this one final mission to rescue Deathlock, who's got captured, and Lincoln, who is an Inhuman. Okay, well, they don't know about Lincoln as much. They want Deathlock back and to stop Hydra and Bocce. So they're going to get Ward to go along with the plan, believe it or not. And of course, uh, Simmons doesn't like this at all. Okay, and her and Fitz kind of reunite, and he tells her how he attacked Ward and had to be held back by Hunter. Okay, and Simmons actually shows Fitz, listen, we can put him down. And she basically shows him, which looks like miniature bombs. Okay, and then of course we flash back to Cal and Sky and Gordon are back at the Inhuman base, of course, and of course Cal is going off, and his wife Sky's mother comes out to calm him down and tell him to be quiet, and there's other ways that that we could keep you quiet, and then he actually calms down and they take him away, and Sky explains to her mother how Lincoln was tough, and Sky's mother told her, listen, basically I had to, I sent her along just to protect you, but maybe it was a bad idea to do this at all. And well, Sky says, well, listen, we have to rescue them, and Gordon goes to rescue them, but he comes back and he's wounded, and Sky's mother said, listen, I would like to save Lincoln, but it's too dangerous. I don't want to put any people at risk. But of course, Sky doesn't want to go for that. And also at the same time, we found out that Raina, of course, her power is, it seems like she can see the future, because she sees Lincoln being experimented on, and she sees Coulson with Ward, working with Ward, and she tells Sky this, and basically Sky convinces her to let me go try to rescue Lincoln. And towards that end, Sky bamps back onto the ship, onto the S.H.I.E.L.D. base. Okay, and before that, you also see Agent 33 there. They're closely being monitored, her and Ward, of course. And Scott, and you can kind of tell that Ward has feelings for her. He really does have feelings for her, because he tells her, listen, you can let the people here check you out and make sure that you're okay. Okay, while they go on a mission. And then they have the most awkward conversation ever, where they have the original gang back together. Now the Sky's back there, and Simmons volunteers to go on to the mission because she wants to. She says she's the only medical doctor that can help put Deathlock back together. Okay, but also at the same time she wants to really get back at Ward for what he did to her and her and Fitz. Okay, and of course Coulson tells. Actually, they have a vote to whether to go on this mission, and I think it's a tie, and it's up to Agent May. Gonzalez says it's up to Agent May to cast the deciding vote, and she said, okay, before I do that, let me have a minute alone with Coulson, and they basically get into it where she says, Phil, you've been lying to me, taking all these trips and stuff and not being totally honest with me. And he said, listen, I want to be totally honest with you, but this is not the time. We have this mission. We have this small window to get in there and, rescue rescue the people that are being experimented on and blow up Hydra and deal a blow to Hydra. Okay, and also at the same time, you see Hunter hobbles along and Mac is setting up surveillance so everybody can watch the mission, and they kind of make up, with him promising that that's just the start of him buying him around to make up for, knocking him out and stuff. Okay, and Mac asks him, have you talked to Bobby yet? And of course he says no. And then you see Bobby, who actually was supposed to go on a mission, but Gonzalez at the last minute pulled her off and said he don't want to risk his people. And actually, Bobby goes to talk to Agent 33, who feels weird being on on S.H.I.E.L.D. property again. And Bobby tells her, listen, I knew you before. I met you twice, and if you start having flashbacks or something, I can help you with the transition. Okay, now we go on the mission, and of course Hydra sees them coming, and they actually blow up the plane but it's actually they do blow up the bigger plane, but there's a littler plane that they're on, which they're hoping that Hydra thinks is debris, and they actually successfully land, okay, and infiltrate the Hydra base. Okay, they rescue Deathlock, and at the same time, Fitz is hacking into the Hydra system, and then Bocce comes along, who leads them to where Coulson wants to go to the main headquarters, and he leads them there. Okay, but Simmons, she tells Ward to go get a cart, so we can carry out Deathlock and look for something we can carry him out on. And then so he goes, and she follows close behind, and basically she's about to throw a bomb on him. And of course, at the last minute, Bocce jumps her from behind because he's programmed. He was programmed to protect Ward, and of course then Simmons actually throws the bomb on. I think he jumps in the middle of it, and then he gets disintegrated. And Fitz, and Ward pulls his gun on Simmons and says, "I'm really disappointed in you. Really disappointed." Okay. And of course Simmons doesn't give a flying F what he feels. Okay, and then May, everybody's getting time, say now that Sky has rescued Sky. First of all, she does some ninja moves and takes out about 6 or 8 agents, doing some like Agent May moves. I don't know where she learned that fast, but and then she actually uses her earthquake powers a little bit, and then she sees Lincoln, who's not breathing, who's flatlining, and she basically jump starts his heart. And of course they take them out, and at the same time you see Ward has actually escaped and can't come back with them on the ship, and he calls Coulson and tells him, "Listen, I left Agent 33 with you because she deserves have a better chance. She was a good agent, and until Hydra, messed with her, so she deserves to have a real shot, at a real decent life without, and that's not with me." So basically, he sacrifices his relationship with her so she can actually heal, which I think it was big for a sociopath. Okay, that was real big of him. Okay, at the same time, Agent Gonzalez, who really kind of, he really kind of hates the Inhumans. He basically tells Bobby, "Listen, we got 2 Inhumans on our base right now, so that's," and of course Bobby's kind of disturbed by him being happy, because he said, "No, Sky," he's saying, Bobby's saying, "Listen, Sky is a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Okay, you can't really, he said, what are you doing? She's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent." Okay, but I don't think Gonzalez gives 2 F's about that. He wants what he wants, and that's what it is. And then also at the same time, you see Coulson. He gets a phone call from Maria Hill, and this is the tie-in to the Avengers movie, where you see actually Raina. She's having a vision, another vision of Loki's scepter and of flying metal men, of course, which of course ties into Avengers: Age of Ultron. And she said death and destruction and all this other stuff. And basically Coulson and Maria Hill have a conversation, and they say basically it's time to call in the Avengers. And then that's how it cuts off, and then they show a clip from the Avengers, and a clip of Cap and Black Widow fighting Ultron, which was pretty cool. Anyway, this is a decent episode altogether. The moment that made me laugh actually was when Ward and all the old team was back together, and Ward was saying, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And he tries to tries to blame his psychotic episodes, all this stuff, on his bad childhood, his bad parents, his brother. I forgot Bill Paxton's character, who was his mentor before he played, and and then of course, guy said, "Yeah, I should have shot you." Then Simmons said, "Yeah, you should have shot him higher." That was funny. That was a hilarious moment. But anyway, I'm gonna give this episode I give it a little obvious tie into the Avengers movie was okay, and it was actually kind of good to see them all back together again, just even briefly. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'll give it a 7. That's my feeling. Anyway, let me know what you think of that episode. If you've seen it, feel free to leave comments down below. This is Trey Passer saying so long and take care.